What if the end of the world was not a place, but a beginning? Beyond the grand finale of Santiago de Compostela lies a path less traveled, where the nature itself whispers the wisdom and the secrets of the Camino. Why do thousands of pilgrims walk past the cathedral drawn by the wild cliffs of Finisterre? Let's find out as we journey in the embrace of the natural world, when every element has a story to tell. There is a moment on every Camino when the walk stops being about kilometers and starts becoming a conversation with yourself. For me, the moment came in a nameless hill with open fields around and no distractions left. Sometimes when they say the less is better, first is worst, but before it gets better. So my mind is simply boiling in needing the variety, looking for the fun, making the plans, and because there's nothing around that is happening a part of this, which is all the same all the time. Oh, I didn't expect that from the Finisterre way. Oh. I have walked through rain, reflection, and ritual. And now I hit the wall. Mentally, emotionally, existentially. I didn't want to film, I didn't want to talk. I wasn't sure I wanted to keep walking. But I didn't stop. Not because I had energy, but because the only way out was through. So I walked. And that day I decided to walk through the ache. Through the should I stay moment, through the what's the point spiral, through everything that came up on that hill. And 40 kilometers later, I still didn't have answers, but I had something better, momentum. I think I'll just simply walk. There's lots of on my head, to be honest. So, the more I walk, the more I clean the dirty, rusty pot. What the reality, right? What the reality. But somehow it works. Like something ancient had woke up in me, a kind of invisible guide saying, keep going. There is something waiting on the shore. And the next morning I left Ologoso before sunrise. The air felt different. The joy of having this one as the first thing after the coffee. It's just priceless. As if the Camino knew it, this was the final chapter. The village of hospital came and went quickly, and then came the choice, Muxía or Finisterre. My heart already knew the answer. I followed the signs to Finisterre, towards the fire, towards the sea, towards something I couldn't yet name. Along the way I passed chapels like San Pedro, the place of prayer, silence and access. Yes, access, long story. And the shrine of the Virgin of Snows, also a special place. I didn't stop for long, but I paused often. These weren't tourist spots, they were mirrors, little invitation to slow down and check if the soul had caught up with your feet. And then, finally the sea. Se opened up like a secret. And Corcubion, the last real village before Finisterre, tempted me to stop. 12 kilometers to go. Should I stay? Should I finish? I almost dropped my backpack right there, but something moved me forward. And then The first beach of Finisterre appeared like a landing strip of weary hearts. And for once, I didn't care about how I looked, how I smelled, or how many steps I had left. I walked barefoot, letting the sand of the sea carry what I no longer needed. It felt ancient, like millions had walked this way before, and each of us carrying something we didn't want to take home. Before the lighthouse, I visited something most people miss, the ruins of San Guillermo, where Arasolis once stood. This was the sacred altar where Celts gathered to worship the sun, to offer their clothes, their pain, and the past. Not to get rid of it, but to release it. This place isn't on the postcards, but for me, it was the real arrival. I cannot really say anything about this place. Well, maybe that's a good thing. Obviously, it's not about the remains of the church, because the walls itself, they're not really a big thing. The stones itself, the structure, I don't know, a really special place, really special place. Then came the famous 00 marker. Pilgrims laughing, crying, leaving the shirts and boots, posing for selfies with the sea behind them. And me? I just stopped here. Not to burn anything, but to let something extinguish on its own. That evening I returned to the cliffs. The sun set over the Atlantic, soft, slow, complete. No music, no applause, just pilgrims watching the world turn. And at that moment, all of it, the breakdown, the 40 kilometers, the solitude, the ritual, it made sense. The Camino doesn't end in Santiago, it ends when something inside you finally lets go. Not burned in a fire, but slowly, quietly, released into the wind. And drop the comment below if you ever felt that moment, the moment where something inside you just needed to release. And if this story speaks to you, if you're ready to walk not just to arrive but to transform, we would love to walk with you. We organized Camino walking retreats internationally for those who want to go deeper, walk slower, and connect more fully. If this resonates, join the waiting list in the description below. Spaces are limited, but the path is wide open. Buen camino.